Good morning, everybody. It's Danny back from Deep South Homestead. Yes, I'm wearing a jacket in the Deep South. For us down here, it's 50 degrees this morning. It is chilly when you've been used to 100+ degree heat index every day for the last 40-something days. But finally it cooled off a little bit down here. This is our third morning in the 50s, and we're enjoying it. Now, when that sun pops them trees right yonder, trust me, this jacket will come off in just a few minutes. But today, guys, we got a couple of pieces of rows here of sweet potatoes to dig. We're not doing them all at once this year because we plant them in stages so that we wouldn't be bombarded with this all at one time. And we're taking them out in sections as they're ready. Now, these are actually beyond the number of days that they should have been in here, because if you go back and watch our prior videos, the deer ate them all off. And we tested digging, and guys, it's been like I think we're at 140 days now, and they just got to come out because I've got to get this ground ready to plant my cover crop for this winter here. Now, on the other side of it there, we have our peas planted that we're trying to get them up for seed for this year, but you know, I don't know if they're going to make it or not because it's turning off cool pretty quick here, which we're not used to that in the Deep South. We usually don't even get cool here until mid-October or late October. And here we are at the end of September now, and it's already pretty chilly for peas. But we're going to give them a shot anyway and see how they do. And as soon as they come out, this whole thing will just be in a giant cover crop. But it's not just a cover crop. It's going to be a cover crop that we can eat, plus the deer can eat. I've always planted Siberian dwarf kale. Last year it was all in Siberian dwarf kale. Wanda and I got about, I think we harvested out of it maybe 4 times, and the deer just wiped it clean in just no time. I mean, it's a perfect food for wildlife and for humans. And it's actually pretty early now. It's just now turning 7 o'clock here. We've done fed all the animals, done our morning chores and everything, and we're ready to start rocking and rolling here. I don't anticipate a lot of big sweet potatoes, but I told you in the last video, big sweet potatoes is not what we're after. We're after the medium-sized ones because they are actually the better tasting and just a better sweet potato all around. So we're going to jump in here and see if we can't get these vines to the pigs and sweet potatoes pulled. The ground, look how soft the ground is. You can just take the fork, look at that. Like 12 inches deep, just pushed it in. So the ground is still good and soft. This in here just had these 2 little on it. See, there ain't no vine hardly left here. They ate all of it off. And it didn't hardly have time to come back. You know, one like that, Wanda and I do stir fries a lot of times, and with those stuff like that in with stir fry. Of course, the other ones go to the pigs, and we're not really losing because it's pig feed. And there's a couple more in there. You know, 2 of these will go for our stir fry stuff, and then these 2 right here go for the pigs to eat. And who knows, we may, if the cows come over here, we may even give the cows a treat. This ground is so soft. It's just lovely.
That's a nice potato.
That's a nice one there. Now that's what I'm talking about.
That's the size we want.
That's what I really like for bacon right there, because that right there, that's all I'm going to want in a meal right there. A little honey. And what I like is the spun honey on it. Oh, the spun honey's really good on it. Cut it open and drizzle it down in it, let it melt. That's just great. And there's another one. Look at that. Another good one we can use for fries there, or canning. Those actually are pretty good for canning. Yes, the old chamber bitters. I try to pull them up and, you know, throw them out in the roadway out here. Get rid of some of them. I mean, I know you're not going to control them all, but gets rid of some of them. And one good thing about growing sweet potatoes is you want the soil. Now see, I'm just going to take my hands, just 2 hands. I'm not even hardly pushing. And see that? 12 inches deep. That's what you want in good soil. You don't want it to be hard and packy. Look at that one. Now see the difference? There's no vine. Look, that's all the vine that there is to that. That right there. You got these nice long potatoes. Now if a deer hadn't eaten the tops off of these would have probably been that big around and long. But they will still eat now, I'll say that for sure. All right, let's see what we got here. A little bit longer vine on that one. About the same. One pretty decent little eating potato. Now the soil, another reason we're digging, we've had so much rain here this past week. The soil is sticking to the potatoes pretty good. And if we're not careful, they'll actually rot in the soil. Now all these vines, we used to give them to the cows, but now that we have pigs, we give all of them to the pigs now because it really gives them something green to eat in their pen. We try to make our meat as healthy as possible by feeding them as much natural stuff like they would get if they were out in the wild or something, or grazing in the pastures.
And nothing eats chamber bitters but maybe a chicken.
Chickens like them. The cows nibble on them, but they don't spend a lot of time really just grazing on them.
There's a couple more.
Yeah, but see this, now see this is something, I'm gonna talk a little bit about something here. This here, I hit it with a fork just right there. This is a last year's, or last spring's, Irish potato. Still in the ground, still solid, still good. I've dug up probably, in this one row right here when I was cleaning it up, or the one behind me, I probably dug up 8 or 10 of these that had already started sprouting, and I took them and put them in my high tunnel. And guys, they're already making potatoes in the high tunnel. So I'm gonna always save this in here because this is a seed potato from this past spring, and it's still in good shape. As a matter of fact, you could eat that because it's actually good. There's a root off of that. There's what was on that potato. Look at that. It was just fixing to come through the ground.
You broke it off?
I broke it off. Oh no. Oh well. Oh, look at that. That's what I'm talking about. These are all good eating potatoes here. All of those are really good potatoes. You can can them. I mean, those are really good. Really the nice sized potatoes. It's really the best tasting potatoes, to be honest with you. Oh, look at that. I stuck my fork through one out here, going way out there. Well, that's a good potato. There wasn't even a vine out there. Nice. This is, you know, potatoes is like hunting treasure. You don't ever know what's down there till you actually dig. Now, I see the ground's cracked way out here, so I'm gonna kind of come way away from this one, because I got a feeling that they may be a little bit bigger potatoes under this one. One right there, nice.
Nice potatoes.
Nice potatoes on that one, yeah, see? Man, if the deer hadn't eaten them off this year and they'd have got a chance to grow like they're supposed to, can you imagine? All those would have been really big. All right, so guys, the row right here behind me was a row of white ones that I actually harvested the other day, and I got 2 5-gallon bucketfuls off of this row right here of the white ones, and they were about the same size. I think that I don't think they were any bigger, and they really didn't, to be honest with you, they really didn't do any better. I've been here for 30 years and I've never seen sweet potato weevils on my property. I have never seen potato bugs on my property here, anything like that. This year we saw our first potato bugs. Wasn't on potatoes, we found them on some weeds out here later in the year. And I noticed I found a few sweet potato weevils. Now that tells me one of two things. Somebody within a quarter-mile radius of me here has brought in some potatoes and some sweet potatoes that's had these insects in them, because you don't just be in a place for 30 years and not have this and then all of a sudden you have it. And I did find a couple on some of the white sweet potatoes. I haven't found any on the red, but I found on the whites where some had done started on it, which means that now I can't plant my sweet potatoes in this particular ground anymore. I'm gonna have to move to another piece of my property and plant my sweet potatoes there where I haven't seen any sweet potato weevils at, because these things will actually overwinter in the soil. And I'm gonna probably have to come back. We had planned on planting corn in the front garden, but now we're not gonna be able to do that, even though I've already amended corn into that soil. I'm gonna have to come back here and plant corn back here now, since I have found these weevils in the white sweet potatoes back here. Because you have to kind of rotate stuff and get it out of the, you know, out of their cycle. And the other way would be kind of like, I'm gonna say, maybe a far-fetched way of getting them. But we have noticed in the last 2 years here, we've noticed a very high increase in the rate of these little German roaches in the woods out here. If I go out here and just rattle these leaves around, they're all in the woods everywhere. And we've had a lot of low-flying planes over the last 2 years. And I've never seen those here. So could it be possible that the powers to be is infecting our lands with things that would destroy our crops? Maybe that's a, you know, some people would call me a tinfoil hat conspiracy theorist, but hey, I'm almost open to all possibilities, because I just do believe that the powers to be do not want us raising our own food. Well, I see my babies are coming here. They're going to be hollering here in a minute, and they're going to want these right here. I know what they want. They want these sweet potatoes. They just have a knack for knowing when I'm digging. There is a potato right there. See, this is what I'm telling you. These are the kind of things I take to my high tunnel, because we've already got a good start. This is a little red potatoes from last year. And see the root system that's on it? I'll take them to the high tunnel and plant them, and that gives me a head start on some red Irish potatoes to actually put in the greenhouse and raise a few for us to eat this winter. And a couple more, to me, perfect bacon sweet potato right there. Perfect. Okay guys, we're gonna finish up these 2 little pieces of rows I got right here where the deers eat them off. And then we're gonna head to the front where the deer eat those off, and we're gonna see what the differences is in the 2 gardens.
Hey, Dolly. Here you go. Dolly. Oh, Dixie. Look at little Betty. Look at Miss Betty. Come on, Daisy. Come on, Daisy. Come on, Daisy. That's all y'all getting. You gonna have to eat the vines. Candy. Come on, Candy. There you go.
You down here spoiling these cows?
I am. What do you think?
Oh, I don't know.
Daisy.
Miss Daisy, they all looking for sweet potatoes, eh?
Come here, Miss Daisy. Whoa.
Whoa.
Come on, curly head.
You say Betty Betty?
Nappy head.
You doing that, Miss Betty?
I don't have no more. I don't have no more.
Okay, what are you doing? I don't
Dexter
have
wants
one, I
some love.
know. Dexter wants his morning rub. Where is it, baby boy? You wanting to get loved on this? Oh, I know, you're out of hay. Is that what you're telling me? You want another roll of hay? Huh? You know I can't dig potatoes if I stay down here and rub on you all day.
You could put some hay out.
Put some hay out and I won't have to? Well, you got to eat some of that green grass out of the pasture. I don't want to just plow it all under. Yeah. Oh well, we got to get back to work. Sun's coming over the hill. All right. Well, we got the potatoes off of those two little small rows. They're about 25 feet long. We got some, these are what I call my daddy potatoes. My dad used to raise potatoes like this all the time. That long. I mean, his was just big old potatoes. The man could grow sweet potatoes now. Stuff like this. Can't complain about them. But we got lots of them like this too. Just good eating sized potatoes here. But then we got a lot of these right here we use to, you know, make stir fry, sweet potato fries, things like that out of. Big old long ones like this. Some of them, the deer had not eat them off. They would have made some huge, big old long potatoes, but you know, it is what it is. So now we're gonna run and we're gonna get the sweet potato vines piled all up on the back of them here. We're gonna take the sweet potato vines to the pigs and give these other little pieces to the pigs. Our pigs get fed so much, don't be surprised if they don't eat them because we have so much food to feed the pigs. That's probably why they're growing as fast as they are. It's just simply because they constantly eat all day from our farm here. Now we do give them a little couple of these little blue coffee containers here full of feed. But other than that, they getting pears, sweet potato vines, sweet potatoes, old vegetables that's just that we can't use, pieces of peppers that's gone bad, things like that. They're just butterball fat already. They're already close to 100 pounds, and they were like 20 pounds when I bought them. So
Let's go see this and that.
go see this and that, and it's only, now it ain't even 8:15. It's just barely after 8 o'clock, and we've done finished all this.
And the sun.
And the sun's coming up right there. That's what I tell you. We got behind this big hickory tree here to get the sun off of us. And see, I've done stopped. I done went and let the cows in the front pasture since we've been digging. There's a lot's been happening since we got started here, guys. So get the sweet potato vines on here and go feed them to the pigs. Where's my baby boys? Huh? What y'all doing? Now we got just tons of food for you today. Come on, little man. Come on. Come on, we got sweet potato vines. Y'all can eat for a while. Come on. Y'all got plenty to eat now. Come on. Y'all just got too much to eat. You still ain't eat your feed I put in there this morning? All them sweet potato vines, yeah. I mean, all day long. What are you doing, boy, huh? You gonna let him eat all your sweet potatoes over here? All you want to do is run and play. You're the playingest pigs I've ever seen in my life. Say, come on. Look at that sweet potato. Here, get you a sweet potato. Alright guys, we're back in the front pasture now. We're going to see how these done. The bone saw's kept the deer out long enough for us to be able to have some vine growth, and we're going to see what the difference in the sweet potatoes up here versus in the back. These are about 150 days in the ground now, so I don't know how much difference it's going to be. We've got ants all in them. See all them little ants? They're toting the eggs and everything around right there. That's another reason we got to get them out of here, because the ants will start eating holes in them.
But they're good sized potatoes.
They're good eating potatoes, yeah. Nice. Bunches of them too. Boy, if the deer hadn't ate them off,
They'd be twice the size.
they'd be twice that size. And that many of them that size, we'd have had an abundant harvest.
Danny's leaning okra.
Yep, that's from the hurricane did that.
It's all leaning in one direction.
That's our Star of David.
And then the peas, the deer ate most of them, but now I'm starting to get a few peas that were left. If the deer hadn't eaten them, we would have had an abundance of peas. As it is, we're getting a good little bit of peas in here.
This is why we've got to dig them, guys. These sweet potatoes are already sprouting. These are what we call slips. When you put these in the ground, they grow these. These are called slips. That's what you plant to get sweet potatoes. And this one's done started sprouting. Just an average size sweet potato, we're doing pretty good. I mean, I've dug 3 plants and I've got that many potatoes off of 3 plants. So they may actually pull out and do pretty good. The weeds took over, yeah, when the deer ate them off.
There's a vine potato under.
I see it. Actually, it's done sprouted too.
Yeah, it has, hasn't it? So at 150 days.
150 days they start sprouting. Warm and hot. It's been over 100-degree heat index.
And raining every
day. Okay, I want to reiterate one thing here. In what we've dug here so far, we did not find any sweet potato weevils in anything. So that is definitely a big encouragement for us. We still got a little bit to go on the other end, down there another 15 feet or so. And if we don't find anything down there, next year, this whole garden up here, we're going to turn it into sweet potatoes instead of corn. So that was one of the things that I was kind of waiting to see, was where are we going to find any weevils up here? And the answer is no. We found none so far. That's a big plus for this garden. All right, guys, we've got a little over half of this garden dug. We're gonna call it stops for today. Our backs are about wore out, and plus it's like 9 o'clock now. It's time for our break. These did not do near as well recovering as the ones in the back did, but in the defense of these, the deer did eat these off a lot worse. They only hit the back one time. They hit this patch like for a week and just mowed it to the just stems. So a little disappointed because this is one of our staples, but I mean, it is what it is. I can't change it. A lot of these are not big enough to do anything with, but we got a fair amount here, I think, to do what we need to do with. We're just going to end up this year with probably looks like about half of what we need. Just goes to prove we've never had problems with sweet potatoes here in my life, and this year was a bum year for us, you know. I mean, and we didn't even think anything about it because it's always been so easy here to grow sweet potatoes. They just produce abundantly. You don't even have to worry, you know. And then this year, to have everything happen that happened goes to prove that if a crisis situation happens in the country, you know, you may not be able to grow and have as much as you think you will. So that's a good lesson learned for us. We need to probably be a little more vigilant and take a little bit better care of what we have here and try to watch it a little more closely about wildlife and, you know, insects and predators, because you get complacent when something's done so good for so many years. You just automatically think, well, I don't have to worry about that. I got to worry about this over here. And then your crop fails, you know. I mean, it's not a failure by no means, but it's definitely not what we're used to. We're blessed to have what we have, and we're going to end up with several jars of potatoes. And we'll probably end up having at some point have to purchase a few extra ones to kind of fill in the gap from where we didn't have enough. But we are thankful. We're thankful to have what we have, and which is, for a lot of people, I know it's a lot more than what a lot of people have. But we eat sweet potatoes, or I do, every day of my life. I eat at least 1 to 2 sweet potatoes every day of my life. So guys, we're gonna go get something to snack on right now and trying to give our backs a break for a few minutes before we move on to our next projects for the day. We got a bucket list. We got to knock that bucket list out in a day, and this was just part of it. We've got the rest of the days full, believe me. So thank you guys from Deep South Homestead.